The same core Denver Nuggets team that you see today won a championship just 2 years ago. They have undoubtedly the best player in the entire world, Nikola Jokic, on their team. Despite being the best player in the world for most of the last 4 years, Jokic has taken his game to even higher heights this season. So not only do the Nuggets have the best player in the world, they have the prime version of him. This team has been rather healthy with 4 of their 5 starters playing in at least 67 games this season, and their 2 best players, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, are both averaging career highs in points. But with all of the positive factors I just mentioned, why is it then that the Nuggets finished as just the 4th seed this season? Why is it that despite having a season that's put even all of his past MVP seasons to shame, Nikola Jokic still finished number 2 on the NBA's MVP ladder? Why is it that one of the most stable teams in the modern day NBA, the Denver Nuggets, just fired both 10-year head coach Michael Malone and 5-year GM Calvin Booth? Why were such huge changes made with just 4 games left in the NBA season? Let's get into how the shortcomings of the Nuggets organization have negatively affected the league's best player. While achieving the 4th seed in a packed Western Conference is clearly pretty good, obviously, with the amount of talent and chemistry this Nuggets team has, they should have finished above the Lakers and Rockets and been at least a top 2 seed as they've been the past 2 seasons. One of the reasons the Nuggets have regressed is because their weaknesses are getting more and more exploited by the day, their biggest weakness being defense. The Nuggets are ranked 21st in team defensive rating. Truth be told, most of this is actually due to Jokic not being a good defender. While he is about 7 feet tall, Jokic lacks the athleticism and speed needed to be able to quickly jump and contest shots when opponents are driving to the paint. In fact, if you watch any of the Nuggets games from here on out, just watch how many times guards and wings actively seek to attack him when driving to the basket. Though Jokic is the main reason for this team's defensive lapse, no player has everything. LeBron and Giannis were never great shooters. Luka is just as bad on the defensive end, and Steph always lacked athleticism and defense as well. The point is, Joker's weakness has been long known, and the Nuggets, who once neutralized this weakness with versatile defensive wings such as KCP, Bruce Brown, and Jeff Green, let them all go instead of paying them, and ironically, they paid the price for it. The Nuggets should have either kept these players or brought in rim protectors or other versatile defenders to replace them. They do clearly have a high-performing offense centered around Joker, Murray, and Porter Jr., but when you have games where Joker is dropping 41, 15, and 13, and 61, 10, and 10 with an L, it shows that their defensive weaknesses at times can outweigh their offensive strengths. I mean, think about it. You have a player that is top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, and steals per game. You have a player that's the only center ever to average a triple-double in a season, putting up 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists a game, and you just hit the 50-win mark at the end of the season? Truth be told, this Nuggets team is bad, and they are lucky that Nikola Jokic is making them appear like a top team and a championship contender. Without Jokic this season, the Nuggets have a net rating of -4.5, which would rank them below even the Toronto Raptors, making them the 7th worst team in the NBA. This team only aids Jokic in scoring, but outside of scoring, there is no rebounding or playmaking if it's not coming from him. Despite playing in the NBA for a decade now, Joker's never had a teammate that's made any All-NBA, All-Defensive, or All-Star team. This is the longest streak of all time for an MVP winner. If the Nuggets' failure to provide Jokic more help wasn't bad enough, there's reportedly been noticeable beef between the Nuggets' ex-head coach, Mike Malone, and ex-GM, Calvin Booth. These guys did not get along and even sneak dissed each other around players. They reportedly went long periods without talking to one another, and this more than likely negatively affected Jokic and his team as well. Booth wanted more so to save the franchise money by adding cheaper value through league drafts, while Malone wanted to strictly utilize experienced vets and stay away from younger players. This conflict of interest was a big reason for their fallout, and ultimately, instead of choosing one or the other, the franchise just got rid of both. While I agree with Michael Malone's strategy of going after players who are already proven and established in the league, the fact of the matter is, both of these guys should have been more professional about the way they went on about their differences. End of the day, it's not about them, it's about their team and their team's chance to win a championship. Internal beef can definitely hurt these chances by weakening the unity of the whole franchise, which is likely why they both were let go. On the flip side though, those two being let go of just 4 games before the playoffs is yet another Nuggets move that's confused me this season. All structure is now lost, and the Nuggets have no kind of grace period whatsoever. The playoffs are days away, and the Nuggets must win to stay alive. In my eyes, it takes a special kind of stupid to pull a move like this off as a contending team this late into the season. Hell, I don't know who's making these moves, but clearly they're not that bright. So it's painfully obvious the Nuggets are wasting a prime Nikola Jokic. Not necessarily to the degree the Cavs did with the young LeBron, but they're definitely not putting him in the best position to succeed. Crazy thing is, they could still win a championship this year. They just happen to make the process 100 times harder on themselves. So that wraps up this video. I thank you for listening to the very end. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't care what platform you're on. Make sure you get notified. Hit the notification bell and stay tuned for more episodes. This is Jada Bass, and I'm out.